Hey, what's up, folks? So today we're going to talk about the rod and reel combination for surf fishing. And this video spawned from a question I get just yesterday. And these questions seem to pop up a lot as we get closer to the surf fishing tournament this summer. The best combination that I find for me is it's a 10-foot salmon rod and a size 5,000 spinning reel. This is a Cabela's Tourney Trail IM8 10-foot salmon rod. It's rated for 2 ounce, so it's perfect for surf fishing because I use a 2 ounce, and also the 10-foot, the long rod allows you to keep your line above the surf, above the water. At the same time, the 10-foot allows you to cast very far. So pretty much any 10-foot salmon rod's going to work for you. Okay, these perch aren't very big. You know, at the most, I think average about maybe close to a pound, 1 pound, 1.5 pound, 2 pound would be a pretty big perch. So they're not very big. You want the 10-foot because of the things I talked about. You know, it allows you to cast far, and it also allows you to keep your line above the surf, above the waves. So you always want to use a 10-foot. There are heavier rods that I see some people use, like the Akuma Rockaway or the Penn, Battalion, big surf rods. If those work for you, go for it. You know, they're very big, very heavy, and you can use a heavier weight. But to me, I find a 10-foot salmon rod is more than enough. They're widely available. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Sportsman's Warehouse or Cabela's. There's 2 places. There's 2 Cabela's here in Oregon. There's one in Tualatin. Is it Tualatin? It's up in Portland. Or is it Tigard? I can't remember. But one up there and one in Springfield, Oregon. Those will have, they don't make the Tourney Trail anymore. And you can get the new version. It's a Fish Eagle, I believe. I have one here, and I'm giving that one away in the tournament. So if you want to win that 10-foot rated for 2 ounce, you can come to the tournament and try to win it. Now for the reel, sorry, let me go back to the Tourney Trail again. This is, I don't know what kind of material they use, but this is extremely light. I've used a lot of salmon rods, and this is probably the lightest. It's under a pound. I wish they could, somehow continue to make it, but they don't. It is an amazing rod. It's very light. So that's one of the main reasons why I like the Tourney Trail, the old Tourney Trail. Okay, as for the reel, I use a Shimano Vanford 5000. I think this was previously the CI4 Plus. I'm not sure why they changed it, but it's the same reel. It's very light. This is probably the best combination for surf fishing. The rod, the reel, is 1 pound exactly. Very light reel, very light rod. I like it like that because it's finesse fishing. It's very sensitive. You can feel the slightest tug on this thing. When your weight rolls on top of rocks or other bumps, you're gonna feel it. And it's just a really good combination. I will put a link for the reel in the video description, so check it out if you want it. So 10-foot rod, size 5,000 reel. Now the 5,000 reel is, if you get it from other different brands, from like Penn and Daiwa, they're not the same size. The Penns and the Daiwa tend to be a little bit bigger. So it's hard to go wrong with this reel. I dunk it in the surf. I got salt water on it. And the most important thing is you just spray it down when you get home. Spray it lightly with the garden hose. You're good to go. For the line, I use 30-pound braid. You want to use braid line because it doesn't stretch, zero stretch, and it's casts a country mile. It'll just shoot right through the guides. Very sensitive. Braid line is like insanely sensitive. So 30-pound braid line on the 5,000 Vanford. For your rig, I use a high-low rig, and I use 3 hooks. If you fish in other states, just make sure you're allowed 3 hooks. Here in Oregon, you have you're allowed a maximum of 3 hooks. So 3 hooks, high-low rig. And for the bait, I use several different kinds. I use sometimes gulp sandworms, 2-inch camo, and also gulp shrimp. I like the gulp shrimp. Well, they work about the same as the sandworms. I haven't really tested it out, like which one works better. When I switched to the shrimp, they seem to work as good as the sandworms. I started off with the sandworms. I've used them for a long time. I still do. They're really good bait for surf fishing, and you can try them out. I'll put a link below. As for the hooks, I use a number 2 Gamakatsu bait holder hooks. I like the bait holder hooks because they got 2 barbs on the shank, and that kind of helps hold the bait on the hook better. So that way, if the fish tug at the tail of the bait, like it doesn't slip out very easily, as compared to, say, an octopus hook. So for bait, gulp sand shrimp or gulp shrimp. So sorry, gulp sandworms or the gulp shrimp. And number 2 bait holder hooks by Gamakatsu. Also, for an alternative reel to the Vanford is going to come in about $250, depending on where you get it. Alternative, cheaper version is the Shimano Sedona CX 5000 XG. This is about $200 cheaper. And by the way, if you want to win this reel, it's on my website. The contest number 10 is up. So just go to my website, answer those contest questions, and I will do the drawing a little bit later. But this is an alternative to the Vanford. It's a much cheaper reel. It is very, very good reel. Now, this is made for fresh water. Can you use it in salt water? Yeah, of course. You can use it in salt water. No problem. Just remember, when you're done, rinse it out lightly. It's a very good reel, a very good value, size 5,000. So you want to put 30-pound braid on here. It doesn't have the braid backing on the spool. So if you put braid, I would somehow tape it. Okay, so that way the line doesn't spin when you fish. This is also being given out at the tournament this summer, okay? That's about it, guys. So I gave you 2 alternative for fishing reels. One expensive one, which is the one I recommend. It's a really good reel. And also a cheaper version if you're on a budget. But it works great too. It's a good value. And so hopefully this video is going to help you get started. And if you have any more questions, just keep them coming. I will answer them when I get a chance. All right, guys. I hope to see you guys at the tournament. Thai Lions.